Bowl mania on a chilly evening in Frisco, Texas. You look at Toyota Stadium, home to the National Soccer Hall of Fame, and tonight home to a couple of football teams looking to finish on a high note. Boise State, North Texas, both made it to their conference championship games, but neither could come away with the title. Tonight we've got a story, an interesting story of two dynamic quarterbacks. It's basically a battle of the young and the old. We'll start with the young, Taylen Green. Deuce?
Yeah, you look at Taylen Green and basically taking over after 4 games for this Boise State offense, and he's done a really nice job. You look at the numbers overall, right at 1,900 yards passing, 61%, and then he was the freshman of the year of the Mountain West Conference. And Dave, he's faster than you think as well. I mean, when you look at him, he's a 6'6". He stands at 6'6" tall as far as height, and then the other side of this duo is Austin Aune. And one of the things, like you mentioned, the young and the old, we're talking about a young man that is 29 years old and has had a really good year. He's thrown for 32 touchdowns, which is a North Texas, school record. And then you look at the numbers overall, right at 3,300 yards, done a nice job with this offense.
We will see Aune first as North Texas won the toss. They elected to take the football first. Jonah Dalmas will kick it away, and this one sails to the back. Here's Horton out over the 20, breaks a tackle to the 30-yard line, and that is where the Mean Green will start their first offensive possession of the game, a 28-yard return. So Austin Aune gets the football. For more on this, let's go downstairs and check in with Andrea Carter.
Well, thank you, Dave. Deuce just got into the difference in these quarterbacks and their games, but their paths here are also very different. Keep in mind, Austin Aune, at 29 years old, came to North Texas after spending 6 seasons in the Yankees organization. He was drafted to the MLB in 2012. He has a wife, he has a daughter, and his eyes are on the NFL next. Meanwhile, Boise State quarterback Taylen Green is a redshirt freshman with a bright career ahead of him for the Broncos.
Yeah, interesting dynamic with the two quarterbacks today, and a flag comes out on the very first pass of the game. That went to the tight end, Varkey's Gums. And we will wait to see what this is all about on our first play of the game.
Pass interference, defense, number 4. This is a spot foul and automatic first down.
Our officiating crew out of the Sun Belt Conference today, Rodney Robinson, the first one to pick up a flag today. Boy, the secondary going to be tested a lot today by Austin Aune, who set a school record with 32 passing touchdowns. There are 5 guys that play significant snaps in the secondary for Boise State that are out because of injuries. First play there to Roderick Burns, and he's brought down around the 43-yard line. That'll be a loss of 2 on the play. And there is Robinson making up for that penalty a moment ago. This is a defense that comes in giving up less than 20 points a game, second in the Mountain West, 11th in the country, just 18.5 points a game allowed by the Broncos. Little shovel pass underneath, read well there by Boise State. That went to Ragsdale, and he might have lost 3 more yards. This is a North Texas offense that's averaging 34 points a game. That is 3rd in Conference USA. You see the other numbers. Red zone percentage, like to see that bumped up a little bit, but nonetheless, they've been pretty effective this year. You don't score 34 points a game and not have some success inside the 20.
Yeah, you're doing something right, and you've seen a loaded box so far from Boise, and they may be lined up off sides here on this play.
4-man rush. Aune has time to throw. Boy, shows some of that arm strength. Pass is caught there by Damon Ward. He is inside the 25, brought down around the 20-yard line. A big 40-yard pickup for the Mean Green, and there's that red zone we were just talking about.
Yeah, you're going to get a little tempo here and a nice throw. You talked about the distance that football had to go. Really nice throw by Aune there.
Handed off the right side. That goes to Ragsdale. He'll pick up a couple of yards.
Just taking another look at it, I mean, he is all the way from one far hash all the way across the field. It's just basically a stop route to his receiver that he's able to connect with on. And, you talked about that loaded box that Boise was kind of playing defensively, and that time they moved guys back and not enough pressure on the quarterback, and he was able to make that completion on 3rd down.
A couple of tight ends. We'll see that a bunch from North Texas. Burns goes in motion across the formation, but some movement up front. Looks like one of those tight ends, Jake Roberts, may have popped up.
All-star, offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty, remain second down.
You're going to give that to Mose, who was making his 62nd consecutive start for North Texas, which is the new NCAA record for consecutive starts by an individual. As you see some of these numbers defensively for Boise State, they'll come right outside to Roberts. He'll take it inside the 20 down to the 19. But this Boise State defense has been a calling card. Last year they gave up just 19 points a game, and this year it's 18.5 points a game.
And so you talk about consistency, and one of the things that they know that they have to do is be able to tackle in space against this offense that North Texas has.
4 receiver look, 3 to the wide side of the field. They'll bring Ragsdale in motion. Awney looks, throws, pass is caught around the 12-yard line. That'll be shy of the line to gain by a couple of yards. Robinson hits Burns immediately, but a gain of 7. And it's 4th down. Let's see what North Texas wants to do.
And then you're surprised that he didn't throw the go route to the tight end. Here he just checks it down in the slot. And right now it looks like North Texas is going to go for it, or at least line up to go for it.
Play clock at 15, so plenty of time to get this one off. 4th down and a couple. They're going to run for it with Ragsdale. Drives down to the 6-yard line. Brought down by Robinson. It'll be 1st and goal for the Mean Green.
Just take another look at it. Just a power play. Do a nice job on that gap scheme and able to pick up that 1st down and 4th down.
Ragsdale again gets the carry right between the guards, and we'll take it down to around the 3-yard line. So 2nd down and goal coming up. Ragsdale rushed for 661 yards and 5 touchdowns. You look at Phil Bennett, the interim head coach. 2nd time he's taken over a program in a bowl game situation. Io Adei in the game at running back. Awney keeps it himself, and he is stuffed. Might have lost a yard. Gabe Hunter steps up to make the play for the Broncos.
Really nice job there by Hunter being able to keep his eyes on the quarterback, and you're running inside zone and he sees or thinks that he can get outside, and Hunter just does a nice job not allowing Awney to be able to get to the outside.
Third down and goal. Little reverse. Trying to run it with Horton, nowhere to go. Finally brought down around the 10-yard line. There were 6 blue jerseys swarming to the football. He had no chance. Loss of 6.
Take another look at it, and it's almost like he wanted to go to Awney as far as a pass, but it was not there. And you talked about it. Took him a little while to be able to get Horton down, but it is a number of Broncos over there to be able to snuff that play out and stop it.
Ezekiel Noah, the first one there. Craven's also in on that tackle. A 27-yard attempt on the way from Ethan Mooney. And he will hammer that one through the uprights. He is now 18 out of 21 this year, giving North Texas the early lead. 3-0 here in Frisco. Well, this is the only bowl game on the schedule for Monday. Marshall finished the regular season winning 5 of their last 6. They face a UConn team that's playing in a bowl game for the first time since 2015. Coverage of the Myrtle Beach Bowl begins 2:30 Eastern on ESPN and the app. UConn won 4 games between 18 and 21. They went 6-6 this year, Jim Moore's first campaign. Speaking of first campaigns, this is not the first rodeo for that guy. Austin Awney, the former professional baseball player, leads the team down the field for an opening field goal, and the Mean Green lead Boise State 3-0. Broncos will get their first crack at it here. Cade Dudley on the return. He's hit around the 27, falls out to the 28-yard line, and that is where the Broncos will set up shop for the first time tonight. And here comes Talon Green, who is a local boy from Louisville, Texas, just a few miles from where we sit here at Toyota Stadium in Frisco, Texas. And he didn't even start the season, kind of busted onto the scene early this year. They had some issues, made change in the coordinator, made a change at quarterback, and all he did was end up winning the Mountain West Conference Freshman of the Year award. First play here, they will hand it off. That goes to George Helani, who is one of the best backs in the Mountain West, over 1,000 yards again. The combination of Talon Green and George Helani have really changed the whole dynamic of this offense.
And one of the things that they like to do is you'll see a lot of the mid-zone scheme, and he's going to be able to get out on the perimeter as well. The one thing that he has to continue to work on is the accuracy for him.
Second down, they'll run right side again with Helani, breaks a tackle, cuts it back, and will be close to the line to gain. They'll give him the first down at the 39-yard line. He has been their workhorse. 216 carries now on the season. Also made 22 grabs out of the backfield. And as he goes, so goes this Boise State team.
Well, he's very sudden. You can see how he finishes his run there, just getting his shoulder pads down, being able to finish that run and picking up the yardage needed for the first down as well.
Junior out of Bellflower, California, went to St. John Bosco High School, working that left side, and he'll pick up a yard out over the 40 to the 41, tripped up there by Mason Richards. This Boise State offense on the year averaging a little over 29 points a game, and certainly this is a team that struggled out of the gates offensively. We started the season 2-2. A whistle will stop that play before it gets cranked up. Looks like offsides on Caples.
False start, offense, number 7. 5-yard penalty, remain second down.
But certainly this is an offense that has changed course. They have leaned on the run game. At one point they were, after the first 4 games, they were sitting well over 100 in the NCAA stats, and now they're in the top 40 in running the football.
Well, when you have a dynamic quarterback and you can just turn around and give the tailback the football and he can make plays, I think that definitely helps him. And then I think simplifying some things up front for that offensive line helped as well.
Genty checks in the game at running back, and here is Green trying to turn the corner. That 6'6" frame, and he will hurdle a man and stay in bounds and pick up a few extra yards. They will spot him at the 44, jumped right over Logan Wilson.
But, I mean, we talked about just being a 6'6" guy, and you can see that he was going low. And, I mean, not thinking about getting out of bounds at all, not going to be able to get cut by the defender. And, I mean, that is athletic by Talon Green.
Well, you know, in high school, he was a long jumper. Set the school long jump record, but he should have been run the hurdles.
Yeah, he may have some hurdle. He may have a little hurdling in his future as well.
Here comes some pressure by the Mean Green. Green gets that pass off. And that'll be a first down right at midfield. Gain of 6. Bowen's making the catch. Brought down there by Deshaun Gaddy.
Nice job by Green being able to just sit in that pocket. There's pressure up the middle. He was able to hit his receiver. Bowen's right there to pick up the yardage for the first down. But you've got pressure in the A-gap, and Green is able just to sit in that pocket and make an accurate throw.
Helani back in the game. They'll run him to the right side, cuts it back again, spins, and, well, you better hang on to him. And that's exactly what K.D. Davis did. The team's leading tackler needs a dozen tackles tonight to set the Mean Green school record for tackles in a season. That's a beast you're looking at right there now. He has 132 tackles on the year, 422 in his career.
Dave, I think he's going to get that record.
I would think so. As much as Boise State runs it. Big collision. Genty, the true freshman. He was not afraid. Lowers the shoulder and runs right into Gaddy.
Yeah, you can see just physical. And so, true freshman running with a little anger there as well. And Gaddy coming up from his quarterback position and not afraid to get dirty and make a play as well.
Mean Green with some substitutions. Taylon Green, boy, power to the right side. They've got 7 bodies on that right side. That'll be enough for the first down. Gain of 4 by Genty out of Jacksonville, Florida. Super talented coaches, really high on his prospects moving forward. They'll go Genty again, looking for a little room to run. He'll get it inside the 35 down to the 34, give him 3.
We've seen early on really how they're trying to attack this defense. It's on the edges, whether it's with an outside zone. We saw the toss play there on 3rd down, but they're really trying to attack the outside of this North Texas defense.
North Texas giving up over 31 points a game. That's 7th in Conference USA, 110th in the country. Genty off the left side. He'll get a couple of more yards. It'll be 3rd down and about 4.5 coming up for the Broncos. Tom Trebe on that tackle. Broncos this year, a little less than 40% on 3rd down conversions. That's good enough for them to finish 5th in the Mountain West.
What we saw earlier in the drive, you saw just Taylon Green being able to break containment. We saw him blitz him one time, and he sat in there and threw an accurate throw. I wonder how North Texas is going to try to attack him this play.
They'll hand it off to Holani. Hit at the line of scrimmage and stopped at the 30-yard line. And guess who? KD Davis with another tackle. It'll be 4th down, and let's see what Boise State wants to do here. 4th down and about 2.5, maybe 3. They're going to keep the offense on the field. Boise State's gone for it 15 times this year. They've converted 9 of these. Phil Bennett, the interim coach and defensive coordinator. 3 tight ends. They will hand it off to Holani, and I don't think he got it. The Mean Green step up to make a play and will get the football on downs. Kevin Wood comes up to fill the hole and make the play for North Texas.
That is a big-time stop there by the defense, and you saw kind of the heavy package there from Boise. They are able to stop that offense.
The Frisco Bowl is presented by Serve Pro, the #1 choice in cleanup and restoration, and in part by New Mexico True. Plan your trip to the land of enchantment at newmexico.org. And Walmart, all the things you need for all the ways we holiday.
Boy, one of the great memorable bowl games of all time featured Boise State back in 2007 as they knocked off just a really talented Oklahoma team, 43-42. A little hook and ladder. We had the Statue of Liberty and kind of put this Boise State Bronco team on the map in the national scene from that point on.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. And I mean, you kind of wondered, hey, who is this team? You always probably knew them because of their field, the color of their field. But going out and winning, games like they did, that definitely put them on the map nationally.
Inside handoff, that goes loose. Football on the ground. The Day had a big hole right between the tackles. And there is a scrum for that football. I see no sign. Looks like North Texas going to retain possession.
Just take another look at it right there before. It was punched out. Really nice job there at the end, punching it out. That's Caleb Biggers that punched that football out.
Timeout. Official.
An injured Bronco player as you look at Andy Avalos, second-year head coach of this Bronco team, 7-5 last year, 9-4 this year. Mountain West Coach of the Year. Played at Boise State. Was a monster of a linebacker, all conference couple of years. Helping off Caleb Biggers. Boy, they cannot afford any more bodies to go down in that secondary.
And he was the guy that was responsible for punching that football out. So Caleb Biggers probably got underneath the pile of guys diving in trying to recover that fumble and kind of got nicked up here.
Well, they're already missing Skinner, Jones, Washington, Canillo, Markel Reed in the secondary. I mean, it's those are all guys that played some snaps for them.
You're talking about key guys when you look at it from a nickel standpoint.
Well, the Mean Green hold on to the football. They'll have it first down and 10 from the 47. Well, welcome to Frisco, Texas. We all knew of the Frank Gore name, but now we know about Frank Gore Jr. after that performance we just saw. 329 yards rushing. Don't know that we're going to have that, but welcome. Mean Green of North Texas taking on the Broncos of Boise State here in the Frisco Bowl. We are closing in on the end of the first quarter to 3-0 Mean Green lead. This is the second possession for North Texas. They opened up the game marching it down the field for a 27-yard field goal, and then Boise State took it down to inside the 30-yard line, went for it on fourth down, couldn't get it, turned it over on downs, and that's where we stand. You look at Phil Bennett right there, the interim head coach and defensive coordinator for North Texas as he takes over this team. Seth Luttrell was let go after a Conference USA Championship game loss a few weeks back. That one's incomplete. There's Austin Awney at quarterback, the 29-year-old quarterback for North Texas.
Maybe take a look at it. You know, they do a nice job of picking up the blitz a little bit, but you've got to be able to finish that. Ragsdale doesn't finish the block there. DJ Scram is the guy that had that pressure, and he hit Austin Awney as he was trying to throw and release the football.
Our first punt of the game, Bernardo Rodriguez. Transfer in from Kansas State, from right here in the great state of Texas. The senior averaging 40 yards per punt. Trell Capel's back to return this. He stands at the 10-yard line. He'll call fair catch and make it at the 18-yard line. And that is where Boise State will have it for the second time.
Timeout.
We're in Frisco, Texas, the Frisco Bowl. Back with more right after this.
This week, Frisco members hosted a football financial workshop for both of our teams, and also helped our efforts to provide videos for Frisco culture in the Frisco House. Thank you to Journalist Bank for being such an active business supporting our Frisco community.
And welcome back to the Frisco Bowl, presented by Serve Pro, part of Capital One Bowl Mania. We're at Toyota Stadium in Frisco, Texas, just north of Dallas. Dave Neal alongside former Ole Miss standout Deuce McAllister. Andrea Carter's down on the sidelines on a chilly night here in Frisco. But both these teams, Deuce, coming off conference losses. Of course, Boise State losing in the Mountain West Championship game and North Texas losing in the Conference USA Championship game. So how big a deal is this bowl game to these two teams?
Well, it's definitely a big deal for them. I mean, they want to finish off this season the right way. And so you talk about just being able to give total effort. You know, you look at playing for Phil Bennett, who's intern coach here, and then you look at Boise, they just want to finish it off right. They want to win, be able to win 10 games, and that's always a goal for any team. And so that's why this bowl game is so important for them.
Yeah, 10 wins for Boise State. That's kind of their number. That's what they shoot for every year. Anything less might be a little disappointment. So this was a big one in terms of the Broncos getting to that point. North Texas Playing some solid defense to start this game. This is a defense that's been tested a bit this year. Roderick Brown putting his arms on George Halani and bringing him down. Halani's just an outstanding running back for Boise State. Over 1,100 yards rushing, 10 touchdowns, also 22 receptions out of the backfield. He is their go-to guy. When he rushes for 100 yards, he has 13 career 100-yard games. Boise State is 13-0 in those games.
So you want to continue to feed him the football and make North Texas have to tackle him and have to tackle him in space. He's done a nice job of cutting the football back on certain plays as well.
Mean Green bringing some pressure. Green going up top, one-on-one coverage. Let's see if there are any flags. There aren't any. It'll be incomplete. Gaddy back there, stride for stride with Boise State receiver Billy Bowens.
Take another look at it, and this is just a go route. And here, probably questionable when you look at it as far as Gaddy. He's got to get his head around a little bit better. But I mean, I think Billy Bowens is the receiver that is trying to locate and catch that ball. But second time we've seen Mean Green bring pressure. That time it was zero pressure at the quarterback, and they go for it all and not able to make the completion.
Looks like it's going to be a fake, and then they pull it up and punt it away. James Ferguson Reynolds looked like he had a chance to run for it, but decides to punt it at the last moment. Tomorrow on Sunday, NFL Countdown before he faces Tom Brady for the first time. Joe Burrow reflects on how he's been influenced by the GOAT, plus Justin Herbert hits the field with Tim Hasselbeck. 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN and the app. Then on Monday Night Football, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers host the Rams at Lambeau Field, 8 o'clock Eastern on ESPN and ABC. Plus, watch with Peyton and Eli over on ESPN2. It's great seeing Peyton and Eli at the SEC Championship game.
Yeah, both of those guys are always characters when you see those two. And you look at father Archie.
They'll toss it to Kalen Horton, and he is dropped back around the 30-yard line, a loss of 4.
Dave, early on we talked about just this defense and not giving up a lot of rushing yards and some of the things that they've been able to do, and you see it, just the total team speed that they have. And I think if you're in North Texas, you're probably going to have to try to run this ball straight at them, not a lot side to side, because they have a lot of team speed on that defense.
That's the end of the first quarter. When we come back, we will hear from the newest head coach of the Mean Green. Stay with us.
Welcome back to the Frisco Bowl. I am here on the sidelines with the newly hired head coach of the University of North Texas, Coach Eric Morris. And Coach, you were hired on Tuesday. What have these last few days been like for you?
It's been a whirlwind, but a blessing all in the same time. So for me and my family to be able to move back to Texas and take over a great program like North Texas is a dream come true for me and my family. So obviously, I found out Tuesday morning at about 6 a.m. and I was on a flight that afternoon to get here with the new team and get everything started. So really excited to be here and take this place to new heights.
And you're a Texas native. I know you mentioned your family being excited, but what else factored into North Texas being the right opportunity for you?
No doubt. I mean, I think they built the infrastructure here to be one of the greatest Group of 5 schools in America. And I think we can win conference championships. Going into the American is going to be a huge deal for us next year. And obviously, the location and the resources that they're going to give me. And obviously, everybody loves and knows that the state of Texas has great high school football. And so we're going to be able to recruit homegrown kids and keep them here in Texas and compete for championships every single year.
What the people at home don't see are the fans behind us cheering for you, Coach. Congratulations on the opportunity. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. How about those, man? That's a good old Texas boy right there.
No doubt about it. And I know he's excited, like he talked about, just to be back home. And you look at the prospects of different players that have come out of Texas as far as high school football. He's got a pretty good opportunity here.
Iowa Day in the backfield. They'll hand it off to him, try to get that first down, and they get enough to move the chains. One thing about Coach Morris, he comes from that that air raid lineage. He played wide receiver at Texas Tech under Mike Leach, actually coached at Washington State for a time under Coach Leach, so has some of that background with him, and certainly he came from Washington State as their offensive coordinator. But you know, listen, there are some tools to work with. Grant Gunnell will come in at quarterback. Austin Awney goes over there. He was holding that right hand. And on first down, will throw a nice one to the outright. Excuse me. Stone Earl. I'm sorry, at quarterback. I had Grant Gunnell in there, but Stone Earl steps in there. Horton will make the reception, but Stone Earl, the sophomore out of Keller, Texas. That was just his 5th pass of the year. That one is batted down at the line of scrimmage. Gabe Hunter getting his hand up, knocking that one to the turf.
And now you see the quarterback change back. Austin coming back into the game. Something on that. I think that was his left hand or maybe even his right hand that they were looking at. And he had a little blood coming from it. And they were trying to work the quick game there on that second down play. And Gabe Hunter knocked it down.
So a quick work by Stone Earl. Goes 1 of 2 back to the bench, and we'll see what the Mean Green do here on third down. Crossing route, pass caught inside the 35 down to the 34, and that'll be Gumps with that reception, good enough for a first down, give him 7 yards.
Just running that over route there. You see Gums, Conference USA first team player at tight end.
First down and 10. Little play fake. Boy, you see the arm strength from Austin Awney. He just throws a seed. The baseball background, played 6 years of professional baseball. As he said, just couldn't hit the curveball. Brought him back to college, and he's 29 years old. Actually has an extra year if he wanted it, but all indications are he is saying bye-bye to the college game. He is married with a child.
And he wants to test it out. He wants to see if he can play at that next level. And you talk about the baseball side of it. He made it all the way up to the AAA baseball, and so he's a talented player. Second round draft pick.
That one is incomplete. Good coverage on the back end from Jalen Clark. There's a look at those baseball numbers. The New York Yankees picked him up in the 2nd round. Hit 20 home runs, but that .226 batting average.
Yeah, you got to get that a little bit higher. I mean, and like you said, you start to get in that AAA, and now it's off-speed, curveball, slider, you know, and all of them are probably coming in anywhere between 85 and 90 or better.
Awney flushed out of that pocket, throws, and it's picked off. Intercepted by Noah to the 40. Noah pushed down around the 20-yard line. Let's see where they end up spotting it, but Ezekiel Noah with his 2nd interception of the year.
Take another look at it. I mean, it's a twist up front, and this is just an ill-advised, and you can see him just drop. Ezekiel Noah just drops, and he gets into the vision of Awney, and I think it was his own player that may have tripped him up, and you can see it right there. That's just an ill-advised throw. Ill-advised throw by Awney. That's one he's just got to be able to take the sack and not throw that play, but maybe that gets them going a little bit. Boise, that offense, as they will start in the red zone.
Officials timeout. Equipment.
Looks like the chain on the far side got tangled up on that 52-yard interception return by Ezekiel Noah. The super senior, 6th year of college football, sets up the Broncos in the red zone at the 15-yard line. First down and 10. Ashton Jeanty, the true freshman tailback. They'll hand it off to Jeanty. Powers his way close to the 5-yard line. They'll mark him around the 6. Deshaun Gaddy bringing him down. Gain of 8, maybe 9. They'll keep the true freshman in the game. Jeanty, 5'8", 205 out of Jacksonville, Florida. Rolled Boise State early, went through spring practice, and the coaches just fell in love with the young man. Out of that pistol formation again. Here's Ginty working the right side. And there's a flag. Looks like there's going to be a hold against Boise State on that one. The whole North Texas coaching staff jumping up and down.
Yeah, they're looking at it, and they've attacked them. The previous play, they ran straight at them. They've tried to attack this defense on the edges all night.
Offense, number 63. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, second down.
When you've got somebody like Ginty that has the speed that he has, we'll take another look at it, but you can see right there, your Mason Rudolph, your right guard, just gets caught pulling the defensive tackle's shoulder pad and not able to secure the edge, and that backs him up 10 yards.
Second down and 12. Green, boy, has all day to throw. Comes underneath with it right through the hands of Davis Cutter, the son of Dirk Cutter, the offensive coordinator.
And I mentioned earlier, you know, you talk about some accuracy, and that's the one thing that Taylor Green that he has to continue to improve on. That was not the case with that throw. That was one that, you know, you talk about just hitting the receiver in the hand, and he's just got to make sure he secures it, and then he can worry about, you know, making the catch inbounds. But I think he was more worried about not trying to make sure that he was inbounds before he secured the catch.
Malani back in the game at running back now. He'll stay in to block. Green over the middle. High throw. This one is picked off. A flag comes out. Logan Wilson on the return, and he is dropped around the 28-yard line, but let's wait for this flag.
Yeah, I think offensively they can stay out there. I think they're going to get pass interference against that Mean Green defense. I think he hooked him, and that's why the football kind of sailed as well. The offense for Boise State is still out on the field, and most of the defensive players, they're out celebrating.
Defense, number 7. Foul. The ball we placed at the spot of foul. Automatic first down.
Quinn Whitlock, number 7.
Just taking another look at it, you can see him just hooked him by the waist, and the football ends up selling. But I mean, if he doesn't hook him, and that's probably a reception there. At least he gets his hands on it, but he never even got a chance because he got hooked right there by the waist by Whitlock.
They'll spot it right at the 10-yard line. It'll be first and goal from the 10. Handoff Ginty left side, and he'll pick up 3.5, 4. Boy, this is one team that has changed philosophies. Boise State leaning on the run game under Dirk Cutter, who took over as offensive coordinator, took over midseason. When he took over this Boise State offense, they were 106 in the country in rushing. They now sit at number 38 nationally. Part of the reason is his quarterback, Taylor Green, the redshirt freshman from just down the road in Louisville, Texas. Green will fake it, bootleg to the right, throw back to the end zone, and that one is incomplete. Trying to hit Billy Bowens.
Yeah, and you see Billy Bowens there, and he's running that over route, and I wish, you know, Taylor Green, if he comes back to his first option, he may be able to make this throw, and you know, that one probably is going to be a touchdown, but here, it's a lot of traffic there on that throw to Billy Bowens.
Gaddy had his head turned around. He might have had himself an interception at the back of the end zone. Here it is, third down and goal now. From the 7-yard line. Pressure comes. Green throws it up in the air, incomplete. No flags on the play. It'll be fourth and goal. And let's see what Coach Avalos wants to do here. And here comes the kicking unit.
You see Mean Green just bringing pressure again off of the edge. That guy being Larry Nixon with the pressure. And Taylor Green, he just doesn't sit in the pocket to make an accurate throw, and throwing off of his back heel, back foot, and the football just could not get there.
Jonah Dalmas to attempt a 24-yard field goal. He has been excellent this year. 21 out of 25, make it 22 out of 26. In his career, that's number 55 for the junior. We are tied at 3 here at the Frisco Bowl. Well, let's check out the Bowl Challenge Cup standings brought to you by Progressive. Sunbelt 2-0 to get things started. Of course, Florida leading the way for SEC teams in the bowl season. They got trounced today. Just a disappointing performance all the way around by the Gators. But 10 more games to go for SEC teams. Right now, Sunbelt out in front with 5 games remaining. Here we are tied at 3. Jonah Dalmas will kick it away. It's a squib kick, low liner that will take a few hops, and let's see if this will go out of bounds, and it will. So a good break for North Texas.
Kick out of bounds, kicking team. Ball be placed at the 35-yard line, 1st and 10.
All these games leading up to a semifinal. Michigan and TCU, Georgia and Ohio State. The MegaCast comes your way. Look at everything that you can look at. There is something on there for everybody. Starts 4 o'clock Eastern time on December 31st with Michigan and TCU. And then at 8 o'clock Eastern time, the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. It'll be Georgia and Ohio State. As the semifinals will be here before we know it.
Dave, which one are you looking forward to seeing? Which game, which matchup? Home broadcast, what do you want? I mean, that's the menu right there. Have it your way, whatever you want.
I think I'm just going to click around. I'm just going to see what I like.
You're going to go surfing,
I'm going to go to a buffet, and I'm good at that. That's my comfort zone. Here's Awney to throw again after the interception. Lofts it up, and this one is on the money. Caught there by Jordan Smart, brought down inside the 15-yard line. A 53-yard pickup. They will spot it down around the 12.
This is just a go route, and you see Awney with the little play action there, and he's going to get hit on this, and this is just a go route, and they just have a matchup that they like. And you talked about all of the guys being missing on the back end for this Boise team, and just throw a go route, and let's see how it matches up, and they're successful with that play.
First down and 10 now. North Texas. Hand it off up the middle. Big hole. Day was walloped as he got near the 5-yard line by Tubner.
And Tubner, he was the guy that was burned or beat on that previous play. This time he lays the wood. He comes up, and that is a big-time hit.
Day stays in the game at running back. 2nd down and short. They'll hand it off to a Day. Driving his way. Let's see how close he gets to that line to gain. Looks like he's going to be a bit short, so it'll be 3rd down. And about a yard coming up. And a change at running back as Ragsdale checks in now.
Yeah, what's interesting is, you're in the red zone, but you can still pick up the 1st down here without having to score a touchdown.
Hand it off to Ragsdale. And he is close to the goal line. That'll be good enough for the 1st down, but he'll be shy of the goal line. It'll be 1st and goal now for the Mean Green.
That gives them a 1st down at the Boise State 2-yard line. 1st and goal for North Texas.
Go with Ragsdale again, trying to drive toward pay dirt. He'll be stopped short by a couple of feet. Tubner again coming up to make a play for Boise State.
You see that defensive line, they kind of stiffen up there. They're giving up some yardage, not giving up the touchdown, and safeties are definitely getting involved, as well as those linebackers coming from that 2nd and 3rd level.
Ragsdale stands to the left of Awney. They'll go with Ragsdale again, this time untouched into the end zone. Ikaika Ragsdale, the sophomore to Las Vegas, with his 6th rushing touchdown of the season.
Just taking another look, and you just talk about the movement, getting a double team right there at the point of attack. The defensive line had held up, but just turn around and just giving it to Ragsdale, and he was finally able to break through for the score.
Ethan Mooney to attempt that point after, and it is good. It's a 10-3 North Texas advantage. 7:38 to go in the second quarter from Frisco, Texas.
The Frisco Bowl, presented by ServPro, is brought to you by TaxAct. File for less and get more. And Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
It's hard to talk about North Texas football and the history of this program without bringing up that man. Mean Joe Green was an All-American back in 1968. Of course, went on to play 13 seasons in the NFL. The defense he was on here at North Texas, they allowed just 2 yards per carry during his 3 seasons. And there's his grandson, a wide receiver, a redshirt freshman, Evan Green, on this team as well, out of Dallas. And the Green name continues on for North Texas. Of course, a lot of people thinking the second best defensive player to ever put on a North Texas uniform is K.D. Davis, their middle linebacker, wearing number 1 right now.
Both players dynamic. You talk about just the impact of Mean Joe Green, not only on the program, but in the NFL. And then you look at the success that K.D. Davis has had, and he'll have an NFL career as well.
Well, our performance update is prepared by TaxAct, and for that we will break down George Halani's season. And you see where he is in the Mountain West, averaging 5.3 yards a carry, 1,133 yards rushing, 13 touchdowns.
And really good numbers, you know. I mean, so his ability just so far to be able to stop and start, you know, running a lot of the stretch plays, outside zone type plays, and his ability to be able to find the soft spot in that defense and be able to redirect as well has been impressive so far.
Green's pass is caught by Caples, makes a man miss, and he'll get it out near the 40. Actually out to the 43-yard line. That's a gain of 18 yards and a first down for Boise State. It's good to see Green get a completion. He's now 3 of 7 for 20 yards.
And offensively, I think for them just to open it up a little bit more, get him on the edge, whether he can run it or throw it, that's one of the things they have to do offensively.
Again, pass is caught by Caples, a big gainer inside the 30 down to the 25-yard line. And in 2 plays, they are setting up shop in North Texas territory.
And you can just see the route combination, just a hitch route and with the corner right behind it. You get your quarterback on the edge, let him be able to move a little bit out of the pocket. Easy throw for him.
We'll throw it again, swing it to Halani, his 23rd catch of the year, and he'll get a couple of yards.
And we look at that play, and I mean, it's almost just like a handoff or a run. Easy little throw for the quarterback, and you just get him going a little bit. You get Halani limping a little bit as he jogs off this field. Halani, get him in an open space, and hopefully he's okay.
Halani 7 carries, 24 yards. It'll be second down and 9. Boy, a big hit there on Ginty. So this offense now being directed by that man, Dirk Cutter, of course, longtime coach in the college ranks and in the NFL ranks as well. Head coach at Tampa, offensive coordinator in Atlanta. Amongst his stops, of course, head coach a couple years at Boise State. He was kind of an offensive consultant. His son transferred in to play wide receiver, so they kept him as a senior analyst, if you will. And then they decided they needed to make a change as an offensive coordinator. And well, what do you know? You have Dirk Cutter in your office.
Yeah, and he's done it. I mean, he's done it. He's been able to call plays. You know, it's interesting for him. That was not initially what he wanted to do.
Yeah, he got retired. There is Caples as he is wrapped up and thrown for a loss by Tejada. But Dirk Cutter, he was retired, and he decided, you know what, I'll just be around the team a little bit. I'll help him out when I can. It's kind of my program a little bit, help me get my start. The next thing you know, they're like, hey, would you mind playing, being our play caller? He's like, sure, I'll do it for the year, but he's going to step away when this season's over.
Yeah, and I mean, he just stepped in to be able to help the team out. You know, they needed some transition, a change, and he was probably one of the only guys that had done it as far as OC on that staff.
Well, here's a 37-yard field goal attempt. It is hammered cleanly through the uprights. Adamas, 2 out of 2. It is a 10-6 ball game. 4:43 to go before halftime on a cool but gorgeous night in Frisco, Texas, at the Frisco Bowl.
You're cold, aren't you? You're cold, aren't you? I can see it's red around his.
Well, tomorrow, 2 of the premier programs in women's college basketball square off as number 2 Stanford hosts Tennessee at Maples Pavilion, 3 o'clock Eastern over on ABC and, of course, the ESPN app. They have combined to win 11 national titles, 8 for Tennessee, 3 for Stanford, including that 2021 title for the Cardinal. Coming your way tomorrow, Andrea Carter's down the sidelines here tonight. Be a short turnaround. She'll be there at Stanford. Well, actually, that's the game. Will she be there at Stanford or not? So Boise State will kick it off. Damas, who has a couple of field goals tonight for the Broncos. A short kick taken around the 8-yard line by Kalen Horton. And Horton out to the 25-yard line. Well, the last drive, Austin Auntie got it started with a nice pass, and they cap it off with a touchdown run. But we saw a little bit of what this North Texas offense could look like as we look at our drive recap brought to you by Serve Pro.
Ragsdale really able just to finish it off there at the end, but it was just a go route where they were matched up on your nickel back. Tubner having to slide over from that position just because you're missing 5 guys on the back end defensively.
Well, they marched it down the field 60 yards on their opening possession. 11 plays resulted in a 27-yard field goal by Ethan Mooney. And we'll run it off the left side here. Not much on the ground that time for a day. Remember, this is a Boise State defense that came in giving up less than 19 points a game, 11th in the country, 2nd in the Mountain West. 120 yards on the ground, 160 yards through the air. They will keep it on the ground here with the day.
And one of the things you look at it when you look at this North Texas team, they want to hit you with tempo, and at times they will slow it down. You know, obviously the referee will step in like now when there's a substitution on the field, but they want to hit you with tempo. They want to see if you're going to line up correctly, if your eyes are going to be in the right place. They want to be able to go fast and see if they can take advantage of maybe a mismatch with an alignment or just somebody messing up an assignment.
Ikaika Ragsdale in at running back to the left of Austin Auntie. Auntie will throw, steps up in that pocket, and just buries it at the feet of his tight end, Jake Roberts. And that'll force a punting situation for North Texas.
Defensively, you see Boise with the drop 8 coverage, and they're just reading the eyes of the quarterback, only rushing 3 guys and dropping 8 guys in the coverage, and a couple guys that dropped out. They're just reading the eyes of the quarterback, and they're just clogging up the middle of the field, and at time nowhere for Austin Auntie to go with the football.
High snap. Bernardo Rodriguez did a fantastic job of just catching that football. Capel steps out of bounds, and boy, a little shove at the end of that play. But 10-6, Boise State will have the football when we come back, getting late in the second quarter. just wonder, Matt, if that's trust like socially, trust in the football field. What do you mean by trust?
Trust can go a lot of different ways.
Exactly.
It can go a lot of different ways.
Who's going to get your back? Tell you what, North Texas defense stepping up. This is a defense that maybe maligned would be a stretch, but they did give up over 31 points a game, 110th in the country. Richard making the play there, but they are doing a nice job against this Boise State offense. You see what their first 3 drives resulted in, 21 plays, 53 yards, but they did crank it up a notch, did Boise State, on their last possession. And as I say that, the freshman Genty breaking some tackles and takes it out to the 40-yard line, a gain of 16.
Nice job there on the edge, and they've tried to hit those edges a lot tonight. Just hadn't had a lot of success. You've tried to bootleg a little bit with the quarterback as well.
Here's Green going deep down the middle and just overshoots Billy Bowens, who had a step, but that ball was just a little bit too hot.
And play action, and he really, not only from a safety standpoint, but the corner that was covering Billy Bowens as well. That ball is thrown over the head of both of those guys. Logan Wilson, that safety, trying to help out also.
2nd down and 10. Throw it again. This pass is dropped right through the hands of Eric McAllister. Looked like it might have been tipped by Gaddy.
Yeah, I know that was corner cat, and so that was corner cat, and you just run a hitch route. Safety's coming over the top to be able to cover McAllister there, and I think Gaddy may have gotten a hand, or at least in the view of McAllister there, as he's tried to bring that football in. That's the second one we've seen dropped from the receivers as well.
Saw Phil Bennett giving the signs. He's the interim head coach, but still calling the plays defensively as the defensive coordinator. 3-man rush. Green spins out of trouble. Boy, he's got some room to run. There's flags down, though, in that backfield. He'll heave it down the field, and this one is just a little too much there for Eric McAllister.
Ask Coach Bennett what he wants to do, and he's going to decline that penalty.
Holding, offense, number 7. The penalty is declined, 4th down.
Maybe he kind of talked about it, the room that Taylon Green had to run, you know, and he doesn't know that there's a flag on that play. He decides to throw it down the field, but I kind of agree with you. He probably would have picked up that 1st down if he does run it, but, you know, there was a holding flag on that play as well.
2:07 to go before halftime. James Ferguson Reynolds, freshman from Australia. Boy, not a good kick. That one rolls into the Boise State bench around the 35-yard line. Just a 24-yard punt for the young man. That was averaging 42.5 yards per punt this year. Hey, the college football playoff semifinals are Saturday, December 31st on ESPN, and of course the ESPN app. Number 2 Michigan takes on number 3 TCU in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl at 4 Eastern. Then it's number 1 Georgia, number 4 Ohio State in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. That's all coming up. The college football semifinals on December 31st. Boy, Ohio State is already running into a pretty talented Georgia team, and now some of their key elements aren't going to be there.
Well,
you have to work some magic.
Yeah, you talk about not having one of your top receivers definitely hurts you, and then, you know, just look at, there's talent on that squad regardless, but it definitely helps if you've got all your stars there available.
He sets up a screen near side. Here's Ragsdale dancing around out to the 47-yard line. That'll stop the clock. At 1:52, DJ Schramm pushes him out of bounds.
It's really nice design on this play as far as the screen. They give you motion from the offensive line like they're running a counter, but they come back to the right of that field to set up that screen. And so a really nice design there by North Texas with that screen.
Awney looks to the sidelines. They say run the play. Awney coming near side. Dumps it off underneath, and a big hit there. And Ragsdale takes out a couple of Boise State crew for the Coolers. Gain of 4. Awney 131 through the air tonight. Averages 254 yards passing per game. 6 of 13 for the redshirt freshman. Just run it up the middle on 2nd down, and the pile moves forward inside the 45-yard line. So that'll bring up a 3rd down and short. Clock continues to move at 1:33. Both these teams have all 3 timeouts remaining. So 3rd down, call it 2. Run it again with Ragsdale. He'll have the 1st down. Brought down by Hogans.
And Dave, you have to just really be surprised with the success that North Texas has had running this football against this Boise defense. And, some of that may be the tempo that they play with hasn't allowed Boise to really get going as well defensively.
Awney tried to drop it in there in the zone coverage. Jordan Smart was the intended receiver. Jalen Clark breaking that one up on the back end. It'll stop with 53 seconds to play before halftime.
Just taking another look at it, and like you said, it's drop 8 coverage, and that is a tight window. And Jalen Clark, he breaks on that football, almost comes up with the interception there. Jordan Smart, the receiver, that Awney was trying to hit.
True freshman Waylon Farrar in the game at running back. The youngster tripped up, maybe a half a yard. Brought down there by Oladipo, a sophomore out of Centennial, Colorado, making the big play.
Really nice play here by Oladipo, open field tackle. Interesting that neither team has chosen to use a timeout.
And the clock continues to run on 3rd down and 9. Boy, they have just wasted 20 seconds. Now they're going to use a timeout. They have 3 remaining.
Yeah, neither team kind of really used a timeout.
Timeout.
Boise will
North
get the
Texas,
ball
this
first.
is their first timeout of the first half, 30 seconds.
They will get the ball back to open the 3rd quarter, but I mean, neither team really using any of those timeouts, trying to say, hey, look, I want the advantage here. And
boy, Coach Bennett over there, he's watched a lot of football, over 40 years of coaching, and he is not happy with the way that thing played out. Remember, this is it for Coach Bennett. He's been around a long time. He's going to, after this one, said he might ride off into the sunset, makes his home in College Station, Texas. And that's where he hopes he'll end up. This was this thing makes you chuckle when you read this. This was his quote. If somebody asked him if this would be his last game, he says, I don't know. I can't say. My wife said she's going to have a man sleeping in the house next year. And if it's going to be me, I better show up.
yeah, I think that, Coach, that kind of tells you where you're at. I think that kind of tells you where you're at. But you talk about just a wealth of knowledge, of football knowledge, and say, hey, look, I may have been around a long time, but I'm not that crazy.
It was great catching up with him this week. He has made a lot of stops, and there's some movement by North Texas.
False start offense, 64. 5-yard penalty, remain 3rd down.
You know, for Coach Bennett, this is also his 2nd time he's taken over. He took over a Pitt program when they let go of Dave Wanstead. He led him into victory over Kentucky. They were a 20-point underdog against the Wildcats in the BBVA Compass Bowl in Birmingham. They ended up winning that game, and they came into this one as a 10.5-point underdog, hoping to pull off another upset.
Boise State
as an
this
interim
is the
head
first
coach.
timeout of the first half, 30 seconds.
So Things getting a little messy here, trying to close out the first half. 3rd down and 14 coming up for the Mean Green as you look at Andy Avalos, who's in his 2nd year as a Boise State head coach. Boy, talking to him, he uses the word exciting a lot. I mean, he is really excited about the future of this program. And here's a little testament to the Boise State program, in my opinion. There have only been really 2 guys have entered the portal at this juncture. Only one of them was maybe a key contributor. And, you know, that was Daniel Hopper, a tight end, made 13 catches. He's already coming into Michigan State. But other than that, this team is in intact. They're losing some guys on the defensive side of the ball, but, man, he feels really good about where this program's going.
Well, I think the one thing that he's been able to do is identify guys that fit their system as far as who they want to be, what they want to be from a program standpoint, not only on the field, but off the field as well. And so recruiting the right young men to be able to represent you, that's one of the things that they've been able to do.
Awney, that one is batted down at the turf. Hits the turf with 12 seconds to go before halftime. And now Mean Green will have to punt it away.
Defensive front and the linebackers being able to bring a little bit more pressure, knocking the ball down at the line of scrimmage and not giving Awney an opportunity to push that football down the field.
Number 7 for Boise State is now number 20.
So Caples will wear the number 20. End over end kick, fair catch called for. And that is where Boise State will have it with just 4 seconds to go before halftime. And North Texas has come in here, just a short trip from Denton, Texas. And they will lead this one by 4, assuming that Boise State takes that knee here at the halftime or just runs it.
Boise State ball spotted at their 11-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Broncos.
But Boise State coming off a loss in the Mountain West Championship game to Fresno State. North Texas coming off a loss to UTSA in the Conference USA title game. And the Mean Green lead it by 4, 10-6 as we have reached halftime. Time for the halftime report. Matt, take it away. It's halftime here at the Frisco Bowl between North Texas and Boise State. ESPN is your home for the college football playoff and the games of the New Year's Six. Coverage begins Wednesday, December 30th and continues through January 2nd. We'll be back with more action right after these messages.
Welcome back to Capital One Bowl Mania.
And it's the Frisco Bowl presented by Serve Pro, part of Capital One Bowl Mania. As temperatures have dropped to the low 30s here in Frisco, just north of Dallas, Texas. The Frisco Bowl, North Texas leading Boise State 10-6. Dave Neal alongside my partner Deuce McAllister. And Deuce, obviously getting ready for this game. This is not what we expected, a 10-6 half score.
No, not at all. I mean, you look at it, you're talking about maybe offensive game, but the defenses have both showed up. You know, both teams being able to get in the red zone, forcing field goals. And, you know, you look at it, North Texas has done enough, and they lead this game 10-6.
Well, it's time to take a look at our Dollar General first half stats. And really, the biggest number my takeaway is total yards. North Texas with 195 yards against the team, Boise State, that gave up 280 yards on average this year, which is 6th best in the country. So North Texas, maybe not, as you look at that, not a huge number, but against Boise State, certainly they've done enough.
Yeah, I think they've definitely done enough. And, you know, we also, we can't be remiss of not mentioning that they're without 5 players on the back end, Boise State defensively, and that probably has affected them a little bit. But, you know, when you look at it, I think North Texas, they're trying to prove and show that they want to win this game for Coach Phil Bennett tonight.
Boise State will get the football to start the second half as that kick rolls through the back of the end zone, and that is where the Broncos will have it. We haven't really seen Talon Green kind of do his thing yet. We'll see how that transpires here in the second half. It's time to head down to the sidelines and visit with Andrea Carter.
Thanks, Dave. Well, I caught up with Boise State head coach Avalos, and you mentioned Talon Green getting going. Coach Avalos talked about offensively coming out in this drive. He feels like North Texas is really loading up the box, and they can attack that front, but there's space on the perimeter. He said not every shot has to be down the field. He wants to get to space on the perimeter and make those plays on the outside.
Here's the freshman. Still on his feet across midfield and dropped around the 40-yard line. So Ashton Genty's getting a bunch of work here tonight in this Frisco Bowl and just picked up 34 more yards and now has 81 for the night.
You know, a little gap play, a little power, you know, being able to pull your guard and get right off of his hip. And, you know, what was interesting, though, North Texas late getting down again, even lining up, and Boise able to exploit it.
Green has room to run. Another first down for the Broncos. Larry Nixon drops him down around the 21-yard line, and he's slow to get up.
Yeah, you can see Green here just keep it, and North Texas just not ready to be able to take off as far as reading the quarterback, reading the keep, and 2 plays, 2 explosive plays for that Boise offense as they come out for the third quarter.
Boy, Nixon being attended to right now, in on that tackle on Talon Green. Boise State has really been a good second half team. I think it has something to do with the fact that they've been running it so effectively since they've kind of changed directions offensively and leaned on that offensive line in the run game.
Yeah, and one of the things that they want to be is they want to be relentless, and, you know, having to finish in the red zone, you're a couple yards outside of the red zone. That's definitely one of the things that they're going to have to do this second half. But I mean, you can see just those first 2 plays as we start this third quarter, just explosive plays. You know, like I said, gap scheme was the first play, and then the sack when the quarterback keeps on instead of the give on that zone play, and, you know, both produce first downs.
First down and 10. They'll run it again. Boy, nice stiff arm there from Ashton Genty. To the 15, hurdles a man. To the 10, stays on his feet. Knocked out of bounds near the goal line. They'll spot him around the 1. But a heck of a run by the true freshman.
Hey, he gives you a little bit of everything here. First, it's a stiff arm, and, you know, he gets into the open field, is able to break a tackle, and then second time we've seen them be able to hurdle a defender and just being able. The only thing that he doesn't do is score the touchdown there. But I mean, he gave you a little bit of everything. You see the explosion, you see the power. Nice job there by the freshman.
His career high coming into this one, albeit a short career, was 109 yards. Had that against Fresno State earlier this year. Boy, did it all in high school. Was a running back, wide receiver, defensive end, a linebacker, played safety. They'll run it here. Not much room for Genty on that one. Braxton Feely came in, played a little fullback, number 90. They'll go big package sometime. They call it their Clydesdale package. They'll bring in Matlock and Gums as well from the defensive side. Those guys jogging it off the field right now.
And they go heavy as well. Again, we've seen Ben Dooley come into the game. He comes into the game this time as probably one of those extra tight ends. And so they just want to be able to get to the edge offensively, be able to create some space.
2nd and goal. Green fakes the run, lobs it in the air, a little too hot for Riley Smith. It's incomplete. It'll be 3rd and goal.
Hey, when we talked about some of those packages and offensively, they just don't look as crisp, particularly here inside the 5-yard line. We've seen them come down here a couple of times and not look as crisp and be able to punch it into the end zone and having to settle for field goals. And you're going to have to score a touchdown to be able to win this football game.
Genty splits out into the little short slot on the right side. Looking that way. Now there's coming left. Green gonna have to run for it. And he will get there. Touchdown, Boise State from 3 yards out. Taylon Green with his 9th rushing touchdown of the year.
Hey, we talked about him just being able to get to the edge, and you can see it here. And North Texas only rushing 3, and he just sees that he can get to the edge, and he just outruns the defenders. I mean, all of those guys, they cannot get off of the guys that they're covering, and he's able to just outrun them.
They're going to go for 2 here. They'll throw it into the end zone, and they got it. Touchdown. Or excuse me, 2-point conversion.
Take just another look at it, and this is just a nice job of just being able to understand it. It almost was like North Texas didn't know who they had. Where do I line up? And
Mason Hutton, the long snapper, sneaks out and makes the catch. How about the creativity on the extra point results in a 2-point conversion?
It started with the swinging gate and making sure guys have to go somewhere else different as far as to line up. And once they knew that they had the numbers, you see the little motion, and hey, I can be able to get it to the long snapper after I give you the jet sweep motion. He just leaks out just a little bit, and it's a touchdown for him.
Well, that worked perfectly. It's a 14-10 Boise State advantage. Dalmas will kick it away. Here's Hort. It's the hole. In a hurry, out to the 28-yard line. Well, time for tonight's clutch delivery, brought to you by Chipotle. And how about the youngster? Boise State's leaning on the run game again tonight, and they're going with the freshman. As Holani looks like he might have a little banged up ankle, but it has been a nice combination with the freshman and the redshirt freshman.
Yeah, and when you look at it and some of the things that they're able to do, just their ability to be able to, when a play breaks down or they get in the open field, both obviously have really good speed, really good power from the freshmen, and those two, the future's bright with those two in the backfield.
Ragsdale hits the hole hard, and he'll pick up 10 yards on that opening carry. DJ Schramm brings him down, the team's leading tackler, now up over 100 for Boise State. And the Mean Green going quickly. Again, Ragsdale dancing around. Will pick up 4 on the play.
See different substitution packages and rolling guys in and out for North Texas.
Day at running back. They'll hand it to him, left side, and he is met at the line and just stuffed right there. Ezekiel Noah First one there on the spot. Noah also with an interception tonight for Boise State. Had a season-high 8 stops against BYU. Has 6 tonight. Ragsdale will move from the left to the right on 3rd down. They will throw it this way to Ragsdale. The flag comes in. Ragsdale makes a man miss. Will have the 1st down, but a flag right in the area of holding.
Chop block, offense 72-65. 15 yards from the previous spot. Replay, 3rd down.
Dave, that call is even worse than the holding. I mean, because the chop block and it looked like it was going to be quick gain from your offense, but the offensive line, a couple of those guys, and you heard it, Blair and Mose, the center, ended up cutting one of the defenders for Boise.
Boy, now it's 3rd down and 19. Awney throws, passes, caught. That'll be good enough for the 1st down. Threw a dart right through a couple defenders. A 20-yard pickup. Burns makes the catch.
We've seen a couple times just Awney, that arm strength, and we referenced it a few times as well, just being the baseball player. I mean, he has the strength, no doubt about it.
Run it with Ragsdale, hits the hole hard and keeps his feet moving down to the 43-yard line. Oladipo making the tackle from a safety spot.
Yeah, just taking another look at it. You get the linebacker just trying to redirect, and Awney is just able to get the ball to Burns right there after the contact from the linebacker and before he gets to that corner and the safety playing that deep zone.
Awney for 153 yards through the air, 1 interception tonight. Ragsdale again. Boy, he gets to that line in a hurry. He'll have another 1st down at the 38-yard line. Oladipo saying hello one more time.
And it's real interesting defensively, Boise, they will use run stunt or at least twist up front as well. And if they're successful, it's normally going to be either no gain or lost yardage. But when North Texas is able to pick it up, they've done a good job of creasing it.
A day in at running back, but they're going to go up top toward the end zone. This one is batted away at the last minute, trying to hit shorter with it. Double coverage back there by the Broncos, and that'll be incomplete.
You can just see here, nice job there. Robinson coming through as well. Jalen Clark does a nice job of knocking it away at the catch point also.
Well, that's 3 passes broken up by Jalen Clark tonight. 2nd down and 10. They'll run it with a day. He's down to the 33-yard line. Well, this is a nice answer by North Texas. If you're a Mean Green fan, you don't want this thing to end here.
Timeout.
Boy, an injured Bronco down on the turf. Boy, Gabe Hunter. Looks like he is in some pain.
Timeout.
We will step aside as they attend to Mr. Hunter. 14-10 Boise State. There is Gabe Hunter. They've been working on his right shoulder. He was in on that last tackle, and this story is just remarkable. A guy that walked on to Boise State, didn't even know if he'd make the traveling team this year. Had some scholarship offers, but decided his heart wanted him to go to Boise State. That's where he went, despite not having a scholarship. As Ragsdale takes that one inside the 20, down to the 15. But Gabe Hunter, a guy that's now back in Texas. He's from Pflugerville.
Yeah, just really a nice job here on the edge. And you talk about a defense that's missing a lot of guys that plays that edge or the defensive end on that front, and having some success, North Texas attacking that spot.
Earl in the game at quarterback. We saw him in the first half when it looked as though Ani might have had a hand injury. Came in, went 1 of 2 through the air. Little pop pass. This is going to work for a touchdown. It goes to Jake Roberts. How you doing, North Texas?
Dave, we saw the trick play really on the swinging gate here, and North Texas comes with their version. We'll call it the Tebow pass. How about that? The pop pass to Tebow. He goes down like he's going to run the quarterback draw, and he just pops up to the tight end for Roberts. The Conference USA honorable mention player comes up with the big touchdown reception.
3rd touchdown catch of the year for Jake Roberts. Boise State scored on their first possession of the second half. North Texas takes their opening possession down for a touchdown.
The Frisco Bowl, presented by Serve Pro, is brought to you by Dollar General. Save time, save money every day. And Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Bill Bennett, the interim head coach, loving that play call. A little pop pass to the tight end, Jake Roberts. Boy, they love the tight end, Roberts and Gums. Gums has 33 catches. Roberts came in with 26 catches. And that one has given North Texas the lead at 17-14, 8:32 to go. And, you know, we talk a little bit about maybe the last stop for Phil Bennett, the interim coach and defensive coordinator of North Texas, the offensive coordinator, Dirk Cutter of Boise State. This is his last go before he retires. Well, Mike Bless, the offensive coordinator for North Texas, is leaving after this one as well. He's going to be the offensive line coach at Cal next year. So a lot of movement in the business. There's Coach Bless up in the booth. Nice play call on that one that freed up that tight end for the touchdown.
Take another look at it, and you can see the tight end. He's lined up. He's cheated up, lined up really as a fullback there, and he just sneaks through. I mean, he's going to bluff, and really doesn't even bluff the defender. He just makes sure he doesn't get tackled. And like I said, the quarterback really sold it because he was acting like he was going to run a quarterback draw, and then he just pops up and throws it.
Speaking of popping up, how about Ashton Genty? He is breaking onto the scene tonight. He had a nice freshman season, but it has been his show tonight as we haven't seen a whole lot of George Helini, the team's leading rusher.
Yeah, they just come back to the power play again, how they opened it up on their first drive coming out for the 3rd quarter. And, you know, they're just finding that defense on that side of the field, the left of that offensive line, just getting a ton of movement.
Kalen Green, he'll have the first down at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, that's the same plays that they had on the previous drive. I mean, they came out with the first play was power to the left side, and the second play was quarterback keep. So, hey, if it worked the first drive and we went down and scored, let's try it again, and that's exactly what has happened so far.
Kalen Green has rushed for 47 yards. Genty with 117 on the ground. Here's Green trying to turn the corner, but he is going to be dropped right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Kevin Wood comes up to make the play for the Mean Green.
Well, Andrea talked about it earlier, just some of the adjustments they wanted to make offensively, and that we see is getting their quarterback in space has been one of them, and then using Genty, his speed, and then running the power play. Green
Stands in the pocket, comes near side, pass is caught there by Caples, and he is slung out of bounds around the 23-yard line by Logan Wilson, but that's another Bronco first down and 18 more yards. Well, this is a different looking offense than we saw in the first half.
Yeah, definitely a different offense, and you see just the explosion, just a deep out and respecting the speed there, and Logan Wilson finally able to bring him down. That offense definitely looks different.
Caples, their leading receiver, 45 catches coming into this one. Out of that pistol formation, they will fake it to Genty. Green to throw again over the middle, wide open receiver, McAllister, touchdown Broncos, 24 yards. That's his 4th touchdown catch of the year.
And I really like the progression, some of the things that Taylor Green does. He looks downfield first. He wants to throw this corner route, but he is able to reset, not only with his eyes, but with his footwork, to throw the underneath crosser to McAllister, and you see him in the open field be able to catch it and take it in for the touchdown as well.
Dalmas with the point after. It is up, and it is good. So back and forth we go. Boise State has reclaimed the lead on the McAllister 24-yard touchdown reception. It is 21-17 Broncos. Genty and Helani, the 2 running backs for Boise State, although we have not seen Helani since early in the 2nd quarter. It has been all Ashton Genty, who has a career high in rushing yards now with 117 on the ground. And you see that this is starting to look like what we thought it would look like when we came into this game.
Yeah, from an offensive standpoint, you see the adjustments, and you alluded to that earlier, just second half, how they have been a different team this year, and we've seen it so far in this 3rd quarter.
Almost to kick it away. This is returnable. Kalen Horton. Look at him fly around the corner to the 30. Only the kicker to beat. Nice job by Dalmas to take the shot and force Horton out of bounds. Oh, it's a pushing and shoving going on. These 2 teams were chirping at each other in pregame. Jonah Dalmas still over there. Dalmas made a heck of a play to ride Horton out of bounds.
He saved a touchdown. I mean, we've seen a kick go out of bounds earlier, but I mean, you talked about just the speed, and anytime that a kicker can come in and make a play, it's a big time deal, and you see those guys kind of chirping a little bit there. He saved a touchdown.
Almost took a couple of shots after the play even.
Yeah, guys coming in kind of trying to rough him up a little bit.
First down and 10 from the 49. Day with that carry. North Texas with 109 yards on the ground. 283 total yards. Matter of fact, Boise State with the identical 283. Oh, run it again. Big hole. A Day. He's inside the 35, down to the 34-yard line. A gain of 16, brought down there by Tubner. That's his 11th tackle, a career high for Tubner.
And you can just see the movement, and they're just able to hit some of those gaps with that movement from the linebackers and D-line.
A Day with that carry down to the 31, getting a couple of yards.
Tackle made by number 94, Jackson Williams.
Mean Green going quick. He going up top toward the end zone. Caught, touchdown, Mean Green. Shorter with the reception. He beat Clark. And North Texas has reclaimed the lead on the 30-yard touchdown strike.
Taking another look, and it's a go route, and it's a one-on-one, and just a nice job really here by Shorter being able to adjust and find and locate the football. I mean, Clark tries to do a good job of taking away the end zone, inside, but he's one-on-one, and there's nothing he could do. He never was able to find the football.
Point after is up and good. Shorter has just been a touchdown machine. A third of all his catches for his career have been touchdowns. That's his 11th touchdown this season on 24 catches.
Yeah, that works out pretty good. And so that tells you right there, when he gets it, he's normally going for 6, and just a nice job on a vertical route. And you knew with the success that they had running the football, it's drop 8 coverage. But that was just a one-on-one, that awning was able to find, and it pays off for him.
He's averaging 27 yards per reception and just went for 30. Austin Awney now with his first touchdown pass. So Mooney will kick it away. And Dudley will let that sail over his head. So Boise State will bring it out to the 25-yard line.
Touchback for Boise State.
Jair Shorter from Killeen, Texas. 10 of his last 14 catches have found the end zone. I'd be looking for him a lot more.
That's exactly right. I'm targeting him a lot more. You know, if he's going to be able to produce at that rate, you talked about, you know, just catch yardage going right there at 27, and that last catch or reception was for 30 yards. I mean, he's a big play guy, and he's been able to produce for him.
They'll run it with Genty. So let's see if Boise State can answer. Boy, it was a 10-6 game at halftime. This third quarter's been a little different.
Definitely a little different. In all three drives, they started with that gap scheme, and that's the first time that they've really been able to slow it down because the other ones had went for plus 20.
Genty will have the first down out to the 37-yard line. Yeah, a little different. 3 field goals and a touchdown in the first 30 minutes. He's played 10 minutes here. Already 4 touchdowns.
Man, both offenses kind of catching fire and being able to take the punch and just give it to the defense, and now you stop this other unit.
Genty running hard. Look at that pile. Still on his feet. He's going to have a first down. What a run. Got some help from his big boys, and that'll move the change for the Broncos.
Man, he's just an impressive runner, and one of the things you see is defensively, all of those guys are tackling high, and then you get those offensive linemen pushing behind, and they get pushed guys off, and he's able to keep those legs moving where he can pick up the first down yardage.
Noah gets his first carry, and it's a good one. That's another first down, but there is a flag around the Frisco Bowl logo at midfield.
Yeah, it's right there at the point of attack, and I think they're going to get him for holding right there on the edge.
Offense, number 3. 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay, first down.
Well, they brought in the fresh legs of El Elyon Noah, a junior running back. And they'll nullify that one and bring him back to the 39-yard line.
Called a hold on the tight end, Riley Smith, right there at the point of attack.
It's a first down and 20. Green to throw, comes near side, low throw. Catch is made by Riley Smith. That'll be a gain of about 5 yards.
See the pressure by North Texas there off of the edge, and Green gets rid of it and hits his tight end in the flat.
Green flushed out of the pocket. Hurdles again, and this time got walloped out of bounds. And some pushing and shoving. Uh-oh, here we go. Fists are flying. This is not good. Well, we have been living on the edge in terms of some issues between these two teams really since pregame.
Yeah, that's where it really started during pregame. Boise was out warming up. And you had some words, and now we've got multiple flags. Green is able to get off the he's able to get off the field. He's able to walk off the field, and here it is. You can kind of see he jumped early, but he got hit out of bounds. He got hit out of bounds, and now you see here it is here. Coaching staff on the field as well, and
boy, Cam Robertson came in maybe a little late on that hit out of bounds on Green that kind of set the stage for some of that push it and shove it.
question would be now at this point, you know, not only from late hit, but ejections. The officials were able to get over there and kind of finally get it broken up. But this has probably been boiling over, like you said, Dave, earlier from even pregame.
You know, Taylor Green coming back home. We've talked about it. He's from Louisville, Texas. That's 20 minutes from here.
Yeah, 20 minutes from here. And now you see Boise and their coaching staff bringing that whole team kind of together. You got to kind of stay composed here as well, as these official kind of they've got to take control of this game as well.
Coach Avalos a little fired up talking to his team. Phil Bennett, he's seen just about everything you can see in college football. Over 40 years as a coach, and this is it for him. Andy Avalos, one of the great defenders in Bronco history.
One thing you know, emotions are running high between both squads there, and you want those coaches to tell those guys, hey, look, we just got to play football. We don't want any extracurricular. We don't want after the play type situations that you just had. And, you know, I can guarantee you both officials, sets of officials, they're going to come over and talk to the head coaches and let them know any extra guys will probably be getting a flag afterwards. And be interested to see if what guys have been ejected as well, though.
Yeah, punches were thrown.
Oh,
certainly.
no doubt about it.
If they could just identify who those were, that may be the end of the night. Boy, the pace has certainly picked up here in the second half.
Had a nice ball game going before all that kind of started as well.
Well, here we go. We'll get some sort of explanation. This could be lengthy.
After the play, unnecessary roughness on Boise's correction, North Texas, number 99. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Boise State, number 70 and number 7. This is their first UNS. Unsportsmanlike conduct on North Texas, number 0. This is his first unsportsmanlike conduct foul. The penalty's offset, be third down.
I mean, after all that, we get offsetting penalties. Why don't we just line up, play ball, and just say forget about trying to figure it all out?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're Boise, it really started with the late hit out of bounds.
Yeah.
And then you had the offsetting penalties, but it's the late hit on my quarterback out of bounds. And that's one, you know, Cam Robertson.
And I think that's what he wants to say is like, there was a late hit out of bounds by 99. Why are we not enforcing that
first?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the quarterback is clearly out of bounds. And that's where it all started at. He's walking over, and all of his guys, they're going to come and protect the quarterback. And now we have football starting back.
third down. They will throw it to Genty. First down, Broncos. That's the 14th catch of the year for Genty out of the backfield.
Really nice job there on the edge, almost like a pick play, to be able to get him free. Linebacker trying to cover him in. Green does a nice job of getting the football over to the flat to him.
On first down. Nothing there, maybe a yard. Yoda on the stop, the mean green, the redshirt freshman. Closing in on 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Boise State trailed 10-6 at halftime. We wrap up what is the 7th game today on ESPN and ABC. We've seen some fantastic finishes, some fantastic individual performances today. This looks like this might be coming down to the wire as Caples still on his feet, and he'll be dropped around the 17-yard line. Another first down for Boise State. Gain of 16.
Officials timeout.
Let's take another look. We've seen them be able to hit these deep outs, and Caples has been hard to bring down. See him use his ability in space, get some yak yardage.
Well, the injured player for Boise State is Ojukwu, their starting left tackle, making his 42nd consecutive start. An all first-team Mountain West Conference performer pops up. Well, this is the only bowl game on the schedule for Monday. Marshall finished the regular season winning 5 of their last 6. They face a UConn team that's playing in a bowl game for the first time since 2015. Coverage of the Myrtle Beach Bowl begins at 2:30 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. And kudos to Jim Moore Jr. on the job he has done. When you think about UConn, they won 4 games between 2018 and 2021. They went 4-32. They go 6-6 this year in his first season taking over the Husky program.
Yeah, there was questions, whether or not they would even be able to get into a bowl, but it did work out for Coach Moore, turning that UConn Husky team around.
They'll fake it to Genty. Throw. Caples makes the catch. Caples down that sideline. They're going to have him out of bounds, though, at the 14-yard line. So pickup of 4 on the play. Leota pushes him out of bounds. Caples with 6 catches on 6 targets tonight. The team's leading receiver. Now up to 51 receptions in 2022.
False start, offense, 85. 5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
Give a false start to one of your tight ends, but I think it was a center. The center, he never snapped it.
So second down and 12.
If Texas showing pressure, looks like they're going to check out of it.
They're bringing some heat. Green spins out of trouble, has some room to run. That 6'6" frame will get to the end zone. Touchdown, Broncos. Boy, and he comes up a little gimpy.
It's the second time that we've seen him be able to break, contain on that defense and be able to get some yardage. And one of the things we alluded to earlier in this game was just how fast, how long. You can look at those long strides that he has. And I mean, he's 6'6", and he covers a lot of ground. And at times, the poor angle by North Texas, and he makes them pay.
Dirk Cutter was telling us he may not be in the 40-yard dash the fastest guy on the team, but as far as football fast goes, he may be the best they have.
Yeah, and he definitely a ball player. I mean, and so you better be able to take the right angle for him, and you can see him on that sideline getting stretched out a little bit. Came up a little limping a little bit right there at the end of that play, and you can see him kind of stretching him out. I mean, he has made the Mean Green pay by taking bad angles.
He's the first Boise State quarterback in school history to have 2 100-yard rushing games in a season. In his first career start against San Diego State, he rushed for 105 yards and a couple of touchdowns. And tonight he has put together a 77-yard performance on 7 carries, as Boise State has rushed for 243 yards. Short kick here by Dalmas, very returnable from the 11-yard line. So the Mean Green will take over near the 30. Let's check out our unbeatable performance, brought to you by Xfinity. And Taylor Green, the redshirt freshman, getting it done. That's his first touchdown rushing. Then he comes across, and that's one of his 12 completions. And he caps it off here with a fantastic spin out of trouble to give Boise State the 28-24 lead. Hand it off to Ragsdale. They'll pick up 5 as we close in on perhaps the final play of the third quarter. Well, this is a nice little early Christmas present. Some good football here in Frisco, Texas. 28-24 Broncos. And welcome back to the Frisco Bowl, presented by ServPro, part of Capital One Bowl Mania. Well, we had 16 points in the first half. In the third quarter, we put up 36 points. We've had 5 drives and 5 touchdowns since halftime.
That's a change of pace for you.
Second down for the Mean Green. They'll go with Ragsdale, and he's taking the pile with him out close to the 40-yard line. That'll be a first down for the Mean Green.
This fourth quarter will be about which team can execute the best and who can come up with a stop.
Awney. Intercepted. Taken away by Jalen Clark. Jalen is hit around the 35-yard line, and he'll get out of bounds there. That is the second interception thrown by Awney. And his own coach knocks him over.
Yeah, just taking another look at it, and this ball does not even look close. He's throwing almost like a post route, and his receiver is running just a go route. And so
Boise State.
that football, I don't know, it's just pure miscommunication by Awney and his receiver, but that is not close to the receiver. And so at the end of this play, you just have some more action by both of these teams, but pretty good job of not allowing it to get anything close to what we had earlier.
So now Boise State with a short field from the 30-yard line. They'll run it with Ashton Genty, actually Green keeps it near side. He's got room to the end zone. Touchdown! Oh! Taylon Green with his third rushing touchdown.
Moving on the field as the quarterback is out of bounds.
Oh, they're going to spot him out back around the 10. He just said, oh, you just got me by a quarter of an inch. Yeah.
I mean, just barely, and there it is right there. He stepped out before he got to cut back. But, I mean, you can just see he's a different player. He is a different player. We didn't see nearly enough of this earlier in that first half. In this third quarter, they've made those adjustments to get him on the edge, and he's just been a difference maker.
Well, everybody moving except the center. Olumilia Gonzalez.
Offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty, remain first down.
That's a tough break for Ojukwu.
Yeah, well, that's the second time that we've seen it, and the second time, the first time they gave it to Riley Smith, and this time they give it to Ojukwu, but I mean, the center's got to snap it.
Now they'll run it with Genty, left side, strong run inside the 5. And Deuce, even though he makes his home, calls his home in Jacksonville, he played his high school ball right here in this area.
Yeah, and he's played a lot of games in this stadium as well, and so he's doing it. He's familiar with the settings. He's very familiar with this stadium, and he has come on strong. I don't know if he knew he would get this much work coming back home, but he has definitely taken advantage of the opportunity.
Over the course of the year, he's carried it 128 times, but tonight, 18 for 153. Here's Green trying to stick his nose across the goal line. He'll be just short. It'll be third down and goal from the 1.
And up front, they've just worn out. I mean, they just come at you so much, and then they get the quarterback who has tremendous speed. They get him on the edge and hit you on the perimeter a lot. We're not having a lot of success early, but they've taken advantage of it this second half.
Genty trying to keep his balance, and he'll be stopped short. So now it's fourth and goal from the 1.
I don't think you hesitate. I think you go for it, and I'm going to put my quarterback in a position to be able to run it or take the pass. I'm getting him on the edge, no doubt about it.
Well, they're going with that, what they call their Clydesdale package, bringing in some of those defensive linemen as blockers out of the I formation. Genty left side. Touchdown, Boise State. And a good block by the defensive lineman, Herbert Gums, to kind of clear the path for Genty.
Take another look at it. I mean, you can just see they have him stopped originally. I mean, you can just see the leg drive by Genty, and there's really nothing that KD Davis can do. Probably a little bit too high on the tackle, and he's able to break that tackle and spin into the end zone. And I know normally in that situation you would probably take the field goal to put you up 7, but they had to like where that offensive line and their quarterback were doing.
Genty had 1,800 rushing yards, 810 yards receiving as a high school senior. It's the Frisco Bowl in Frisco, Texas. Boise State and North Texas going at it. 12:05 to play in this one, and Boise State has opened up an 11-point lead. Dirk Cutter running his offense. This is what he hoped it would look like. It just took a while to get it cranked up. You see the first half numbers versus what they've done in the second half, and they have found something to lean on.
Well, and we're not just talking about total yards. Those are rushing yards. I mean, you talk about a total of 278 running the football, and they've had explosive runs not only by Taylon Green but Genty as well, and they have found something definitely on the perimeter and been able to put that team up. From only having 6 points at halftime, they've come back and now they have a total of 35.
Hired Bush Handman to be their new offensive coordinator, the former Bronco quarterback. 2004 to 2008 will take over for Dirk Cutter when this one comes to a close. Here's Macklin. Flags everywhere. He'll come near side with it, and he'll be dropped inside the 20-yard line.
Return from North Texas made by number 9, Jamori Backlund. Tackle made by number 36, Justice Del Rio. Flag on the play.
During the return, illegal. Blindside ball on the return team, number 46. Half the distance from the spot of the foul, 1st and 10.
So now, North Texas will be back
End of the
up
run.
inside the 10-yard line. They will spot it at the 9. The 29-year-old Austin Awney coming back out.
North Texas ball spotted at their 9-yard line. 1st and 10.
Awney has had some interception issues this year. He has thrown 2 tonight. Matter of fact, he's thrown 5 pick sixes of his 15 interceptions. Backed up, trying to set up the screen near side. Here's Ragsdale, cuts it back. He'll have a first down and dragged down around the 23-yard line. DJ Schramm chasing him down. Boy, DJ has really burst onto the scene this year. He's got a year of eligibility left with a 5th-year senior. They're waiting to find out after the season if he wants to come back for one more ride with the Broncos. Quick throw near side. This one's caught by Smart. Not much on that one, 3 yards. Pushed out of bounds by Rodney Robinson.
Tackle made by number 4, Rodney Robinson. Gain of 3 for North Texas.
Run it here. Ragsdale to the 30.
Hand off to number 6, Ragsdale.
Ortez Hogans gets credit for that tackle, his 4th of the night.
And right now, this North Texas team, they don't have to do anything really different from an offensive standpoint. You saw the first 2 plays, really a screen to the running back, and then the next one a screen to the receiver. They still can run the football. They're still in this game with this much time left in the 4th quarter, so they're not changing their offense too much yet.
A day in it, running back, but they'll throw it here, and they'll get it. Pass is caught by Smart, breaks a tackle to midfield. Smart down to the 31-yard line. A big hitter for the Mean Green. Picks up 39 yards.
And this is a really nice job here by your quarterback, because I don't know if he completely had this ball when he threw this out route.
Mean Green going quick. They'll run it with a day. Pick up 3 inside the 30 down to the 29.
You see just a broken tackle there by Smart, and then he's able just to be able to get in the open field and make a couple guys miss as well.
Low snap. Awney hit as he throws. He'll sail that one out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. Pressure came from Ezekiel Noah.
Seen Boise pick up that blitz package a little bit more this second half, bringing an extra guy or 2, and you talked about the low snap a couple of times, maybe taking Awney's eyes off of the defense.
Ragsdale in at running back. They'll give it to him on 3rd down, and this was clearly a 2-down situation.
Yeah, down 11, and so, hey, look, let's run it right now. You're in a position where you can actually kick the field goal, but it looks like they're going to keep that offense out there on the field.
Bring in Stone Earl, who threw the pop pass for a touchdown. Fourth and 3. Earl will keep it, has some room to run. First down and more. He's down to the 12.
Yeah, just really a nice job of just selling it, and you see right there on the edge, able to get that block from your left tackle, and he's able to pick up the first down.
Earl stays in motion, goes Smart. They will throw it that way, and it's a low throw.
trying to throw a swing pass. He short-armed it all the way.
Earl will stay in the game. A sophomore out of Keller, Texas, transferred in from Abilene Christian. Earl keeps it. He's to the 5. Gain of 7. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Awney comes back in.
You see, Dave, they've run that quarterback power, quarterback keeper twice with him, and now go back to Awney, open up the complete offense for him.
Ragsdale, right up the middle, touchdown. North Texas from 5 yards out, the second of the night for Ragsdale. That is the 7th touchdown of the year for the sophomore out of Las Vegas, Nevada.
Split zone.
Yep.
Split zone was the run. Split zone was the run, and they're going to go for 2 here.
They're going to keep the offense on the field with Awney at quarterback, Ragsdale. Stoppage for a moment. They're going to reset the play clock.
Well, the other thing, they reset the play clock, but they wanted the football moved. You wanted the football moved, and so normally when you do that, you're coming to that side. You want to move that football. Here it is.
Boy, Ragsdale looked like he took the snap, gave it to Awney, who then scores.
Yeah, they wanted the football moved, so now they had more room to be able to run this trick play.
Timeout.
They slid over. That's exactly what it was, and the direct snap went to Ragsdale, and they handed it off, and it was he was able to keep it. Trickeration.
Well, there's the touchdown by Ragsdale, and here's a 2-point conversion. Ragsdale hands it off to Awney. Looking like Ragsdale on that 2-point play.
Is presented by Serve Pro, the #1 choice in cleanup and restoration, and in part by TaxAct. File for less and get more.
Boy, what was a 10-6 game at half has, I'd say, opened up, might be a good word. 35-32 our score. Boise State out in front by a field goal. Both teams have converted 2-point conversions tonight. There's the story. 7 touchdowns here in the second half after 3 field goals and a touchdown in the first 2 quarters.
And what's interesting when you say that, all has not just been explosive plays for touchdown. They've actually had legitimate drives. Now, they've had some explosive plays on that drive, and we've had a turnover, but I mean, these offenses definitely woken up.
That'll be a touchback out to the 25. Boise State has put together an impressive ground game. It's kind of what they've leaned on under the direction of Dirk Cutter, who took over in late September of this offense, going from senior analyst at Boise State to back in the game as the offensive coordinator. And that guy right there, Ashton Genty, a true freshman, has been the main catalyst with 154 yards on the ground. Genty, 5'8", 205. Boy, he has got some arms on him. Now, he spent some time in the weight room.
Yeah, he likes the weight room now. You can tell. You can look at him and tell. And he may not be the biggest guy, but he'll tell you, I'm going to be one of the toughest out there.
He has been a workhorse. 21 carries, make it green on this one, though. And he will get it to the 35, close to the first down. I think they'll be good enough to move the chains. It will be. Been impressed with him in the second half as well. I mean, this is a redshirt freshman quarterback that was from right in this area. Didn't have a whole lot of offers. Coming out of high school, Boise State felt like they had some time to work with him and develop him. And this is what it's kind of morphed into.
Yeah, and then you love to see where he ends up as far as growth. I mean, because he's definitely has some ability, and you can see some of the things that he's able to do in the run game for you.
When they made the change at coordinator, Hank Bachmeier was their 4-year starting quarterback. He entered the transfer portal the day after they made the change, and that opened up the door for Green, who had already been playing. They had seen what he could do, and they just turned it over to him. And Dirk Cutter has worked magic, really worked with his feet to try to get his footwork better as a quarterback, set up some opportunities to not only throw the football but be able to run. Speaking of footwork, that was pretty fancy. That's a first down near midfield for Taylor Green.
In basketball, that would be the crossover, and that was definitely a crossover move. And so, I mean, that's the second time he's gotten in the open field on this drive, and you can just see the hesitation. I mean, and he's going to give you the in and out, and there is nothing. He does get a hand on him, but there is nothing they can do, Nixon can do to bring him down.
1st and 10. Boy, Genty just breaking tackles. Can he break any more? And he'll get back a yard. That could have been a 5, 6, 7-yard loss, but he ends up picking up a yard across midfield.
Injury. Boise State player, Gaddy.
Yeah.
Officials timeout.
Dave, I agree with you. That yardage-wise, it may only be 2 to 3 yards, but Genty probably ran about a good 50 yards to get those 2 yards.
Hey, when you're doing that as a running back, and all of a sudden you realize you're going backwards, you like,
Yeah, I'm in trouble. Let me find a way to get north. Let me get back north and south, because running sideways or backwards is not what you want.
2nd down. They'll run it with Noah. Green keeps it. Actually fooled me from up here. It looked like everybody. It is amazing how many people came to this near sideline, and Green.
Timeout.
Boy, now their best
Official.
defensive player, KD Davis, the senior, who came in with 421 career tackles. While they attend to him, we will step aside.
Fans, do you have what it takes to handle the intensity of Taki's road work engines? As you meet the scene, tonight be sure to grab your bag of Taki's and face the intensity.
Boy, it's getting late here in Frisco. 5:45 to play. And just boy, one of those things that it doesn't look like much, but obviously it has got to be a lot to keep this guy down. KD Davis, number 1. Watch him as he tries to just plant. And then he goes down. I mean, there's just nothing violent about that at all, but they are just now getting him up on his feet and helping him off.
And he's not,
field.
yeah, he's not putting any pressure on that left leg, and so unsure exactly what he did, but he was going to plant. He was going to stop.
5 tackles tonight. I mean, what a career. Look at those numbers. 426 career tackles. And that, boy, that is a shame for that young man, the senior middle linebacker. And they've talked about it over there. Maybe outside of Mean Joe Green, he may be the best player to be on that side of the ball in the school's history. Definitely in the conversation. 3rd down, pressure comes. Green throws it up. It's caught. And a first down at the 40-yard line. Billy Bowens. Pressure came from Jordan Brown, and Green felt it, got it away just in time. A gain of 7.
Green does a nice job. This is just an over route, and Green does a nice job. He sees that I have pressure off of the edge, and I know that I have that overcoming, and you know, he still has to work a little bit on that throw, but he's strong enough arm strength wise to be able to get it to his receiver.
Boy, Genty is grabbed by Tom Trebe, that sophomore out of Illinois, making a play. Just wouldn't let go, the 5'8" running back.
Dave, I kind of hesitated there because I thought he was going to break out of that tackle as well. We've seen him break so many tackles, particularly if you're trying to tackle him up high.
Yeah, some movement up front by Boise State, but we've seen that 3-4 times tonight by the Broncos.
It just hadn't been as clean up front as you would have expected. And sometimes that happens in bowl games just because you've been off so long.
False start, offense 71. 5-yard penalty, remain second down.
They'll push it back to the 45, 2nd and 15. That is a 7th penalty against Boise State for 54 yards. 5 penalties, 42 yards for the Mean Green. Pressure comes again. Oh, Green is walloped as he threw that one, and he is slow to get up. Man, did he get hit by Quinn Whitlock.
Take another look and you'll see there's pressure right there inside as far as the C gap, and Whitlock is able to finally get a shot on the quarterback. We saw them bring pressure early off the edge and C gap pressure, and this time it's right there in the B gap, and they get a shot on the quarterback. Your receiver has to help him out. If my quarterback's going to sit in the pocket and take a big hit, then you've got to help him out and catch the football.
Whitlock also took some abuse on that hit. He's to the sideline. 3rd down and 15. They'll run it. And Genty's pushed out of bounds at the 37, so it'll be 4th down and about 7 yards. Larry Nixon pushes him out of bounds. What's Andy Avalos want to do here?
It looks like you're going to punt, but I mean, if I'm North Texas, I may even use one of those timeouts right now. There it is. They're going to just run the play clock down. Still probably let about 10 to 15 seconds run off before you realize what they were doing.
Dalmas is coming out the field goal kick.
This is their first timeout of the
Dalmas
second half.
is
30 seconds.
long 51 against Air Force earlier this year. So Phil Bennett and company down 3, 3:32 to go. Don't forget to head over to the ESPN app after the game for the Frisco Bowl trophy presentation. Coverage begins immediately after this one comes to a close. Well, it looked like they were going to run Jonah Dalmas out there, the kicker, for what would have been a 54-yard field goal, and he was hoping he'd get a shot at it. I mean, he was sitting there talking to everybody, I can do this, but they're going to leave the offense out on 4th and 7 now and go for it. Now, I don't think the old get him offside is going to work. They were trying to get the free 5 and maybe run Dalmas out
offense.
there.
5-yard penalty.
And now the punt team looks like they're about to take the field.
Down.
They're going to decline the penalty until you keep the ball there. And the other, and I don't even know if you run the field goal team out there if they do get those 5 yards, Dave. I think, you know, if that's the case,
correct.
I'm keeping it in my
North
quarterback's
Texas wants
hands.
to decline the penalty. 4th down.
Yeah, the reason you decline it, you don't give him more yardage to be able to work with. You don't give the punter more yardage to be able to work with. You make him have to pin you inside, you know, the 15-yard line. And now they are going to walk the yardage.
Correction again. North Texas would like to accept the penalty. 5 yards, 4th down.
James Ferguson Reynolds. Clean snap. That ball will hit at the 20 and take a favorable Boise State bounce and stays in play. It'll be down at the 4-yard line. So 3:22 to go, 35-32, North Texas with the football. Don't forget, after this one, it'll be Sports Center. Highlights from a full day of college football. 7 bowl games, plus a look at the biggest comeback in NFL history.
Dave, did I just say you don't give him more yardage to work with?
Right.
The extra 5 yards?
Right, exactly. That ball's in the end zone. You're right.
The ball's in the end zone. I mean, and you force him to put that ball inside the 10-yard line with a natural kick and don't let him get that extra bounce that they were able to obviously get. And now you've got to go, not the full 95, but you got to probably get around the 30-yard line to at least attempt a field goal.
Quick throw off the mark, trying to hit Damon Ward. Awney has thrown for 238 yards tonight, a touchdown and a couple of interceptions. Ethan Mooney, the kicker for North Texas. You got to get it around 35-yard line for him. His longest season's 49, but a flag here.
Offense, 9. Had the distance to the goal. Remain 2nd down.
Mooney has been fantastic in his career. They just want to give him the opportunity, but they got a long way to go and a short time to get there.
Yeah, right there, your receiver having a false start, never a good thing. And, you know, the vertical pass has been the best throw for Awney, throwing it down the field.
They'll run it, but not much room there. For a day, DJ Schramm now in double figures with 10 stops. The team's leading tackler. Second team all Mountain West performer. Third and 11. Pressure comes. Awney over the middle. Pass is caught and dropped. Incomplete. Kalen Horton had it for a moment. They rule it incomplete. And it's now 4th down and 11.
Just taking another look at it, you know, he has time on this throw, and it's a vertical throw down the field. He splits it and just never quit on it. They never quit on it from a defensive standpoint. Really nice job.
On 4th and 11, timeout taken by Boise State.
Timeout.
With
Boise
2:31
State, this is their first
to
timeout
play.
of the second half. 30 seconds.
And that was Alex Tubner that never quit on that play to Horton as he's running that go route.
Well, they're going without Canillo, Markel Reed, Jones, Washington, Skinner, all in the back end for Boise State are out tonight. So guys like Alex Tubner, who came in with 25 tackles on the season, have had to play big. Matter of fact, think about that, 25 tackles for Tubner on the year. He has 11 tonight.
Yeah, and he's been involved, and he had to slide over to that nickel kind of role, that safety role, and had some success. But he's been around the football, and he comes up with a huge play there.
And now North Texas has had second thoughts about going for it on 4th and 11 from inside the 5. They will punt it away. They do have a couple of timeouts remaining.
Number 7 for Boise State, his jersey number has changed to number 20.
Well, that's Caples back there. That's because Ezekiel Noah stays on the field. He wears number 7 on the defensive side of things. Line drive kick, fair catch called for and taken at the 40. Well, basically, this will be an interesting, one first down might put this away. Well, it has been some sort of game in the second half in particular for Ashton Jeanty, the true freshman running back. As Dirk Cutter wraps up his career as a coach tonight for Boise State. And Jeanty will be our Capital One player of the game for his performance. 25 carries, 172 yards. A touchdown, averaging almost 7 yards a carry. And he'll take it here off the left side, and he'll get it close to the 35-yard line. And without George Holani, really since the beginning of the second quarter, we saw him kind of limp off after a carry to the sideline. It didn't look really bad, but it's obviously bad enough to keep him out here in the second half.
Yeah, and so really, you know, he's just been able to stay over there and keep his guys involved. And you see the freshman, the work that he's been able to do, and it's been a difference maker for him. I mean, he has career high as far as yardage is concerned, and he's taking advantage of the opportunity.
Boise State has a season high 318 yards on the ground. Jeanty.
Timeout, North Texas. This is their second timeout of the second half. 30 seconds.
1:36 to go.
And defensively, here's where you have to sell out. I mean, and if I'm Boise, I'm keeping the football in Green's hands. You know, I'm going to give him the opportunity to close this game completely out. But I mean, if you're North Texas, you have to sell out up front to be able to try to come up with a stop.
You know, it's talk about Dirk Cutter, also swan song for that man right there, Phil Bennett, defensive coordinator, thrust into the interim head coach role. As this this North Texas team heading into the American next year, stepping up a level, if you will, competition. Felt like it was the time to make a move with the staff as they enter a new era of North Texas football. Third down, no. Here's Jeanty trying to get the edge, and he slips down at the 35. And that'll be the final timeout taken by North Texas. Rich Tejada, sophomore corner.
Timeout.
Coming up to
North
make
Texas,
that play.
this is the third and final timeout of the second half. 30 seconds in left.
Just an interesting call. I know Genty has been phenomenal. You go with outside zone on that play, but I mean, once there's no really threat, there's no threat of the quarterback run on that play. I mean, because once he gives it, his ability to be able to throw the football is kind of gone. And so now if I'm pressuring guys off of the edge, and that's what happened. I mean, you're forcing a running back to have to make a sudden cut. We've seen a couple guys already slip out here on this field, could not do it, and I mean, it's almost what did he even lose the lost yardage there on that play, or got right to the line of scrimmage, right?
So it's at the 34-yard line. They got to get it at least to the 30 for the first down. They're going to send that punt team out there, and here comes Ferguson Reynolds, who was last time he punted it. They were able to down it at the 5-yard line. Just hope for a clean execution here, and it is. Good clean snap. And a fair catch called for. Did that hit the mean green? That's Burns back there trying to cover that punt. Did that hit him is the big question. Boise State wants the football for sure. They're going to say North Texas football.
Is that the receiver did not touch the football. The ball will be North Texas.
Definitely didn't touch him as far as the hands. He was able to get out of the way, and from that angle right there, we could not see if it touched his shoulder pad, but the officials were close. They were right up on it, and you were probably playing with fire even being that close and not being able to catch it.
Man, have we even had a review tonight at all?
No, we have not.
Yeah, that might be a first
The
for
movement
us
on the
this year.
field is that North Texas players that the previous play is under further review. Timeout.
That ends that with 1:20 to go.
I mean, hey, why not? Why not? We've had everything else in this game, so why not? Just take another look. He calls for the fair catch right there, and he goes and he short arms it. Unless it just caught his shoulder pad right there, which I don't think so.
Well, yeah, I don't think his hand touched it there. It has to be maybe on the bounce if there's any. Did it catch any piece of his shoulder on the way up?
Yeah, I mean, you can tell, look at it from his reaction, it does not. I mean, he goes and looks and sees.
Right, if that hits his shoulder, he's probably turning immediately to go cover that football.
Yeah, I'm coming sprinting.
Oof, boy, I tell you, that's...
Man, that's close.
Yeah. Ruling on the field was, though, he did not touch it, so...
Well, you got an official about, what, 11 yards, 12, 15 yards away? That's looking right there on the goal line.
I don't know that you could say that there's a definitive answer to whether that hit him or not, so stick with the ruling on the field. Well, I've talked to our replay official, Terry Walters, here at halftime, and he was like, man, that was a nice, clean first half. They would do the same in the second half. Well, not so much. We almost made it.
Not so fast there, sir.
Obviously a critical decision here with 1:20 on the clock. North Texas, no timeouts remaining. And it looks like Trentus Livingston, our referee, about ready to give us the call.
At the video review, the ruling on the field stands North Texas ball.
I agree. I just nothing there to tell you that it caught his shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, from you see him pull his hands back and kind of if it caught him, I don't know if the ball, the spin of the ball or anything changed enough for it, and then his reaction, like you said, if it touched him, he's going immediately trying to cover it up, but he didn't move.
.120 to go. Awney trying to throw back, but they cover it up well. Nowhere. There is nobody.
He's going to the tailback, and they hit the tailback. So the question is, was he out of the pocket for
There's
intentional
no
grounding?
foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback was outside the tackle box. Second down.
Yeah, it was a throwback to the tailback. And it was a good job by Boise defensively being able to see it. And Awney just threw it away, but he was out of the box, so there's no intentional grounding.
Awney 17 of 30, 238. Awney tucks it, trying to get out of bounds, and he does so to stop the clock with 1:06 to go. But it'll be third down coming up. DJ Schramm will get credit for that stop.
The deep outs he's had success on, and then the vertical route, the all-go type routes down the field is what he's had a lot of success on.
Boise State bringing the heat. Passes, drops right at the 25-yard line. It would have been very close to the first down. Varkey's Gums just couldn't hang on. He had a Bronco defender hanging on him.
Yeah, I think that was Oladipo that came up with the play right there at the catch point. We'll take another look at it. It's a over route, and he just doesn't quit. He does not quit on it, and Gums had a shot at it, could not bring it in, but Oladipo just doesn't. He finishes the play. He doesn't quit on it and doesn't allow Gums to be able to bring it in.
Well, here it is. This is pretty much it. 1 minute to play. Fourth down. A whistle will stop it, and a timeout taken by Boise State.
Timeout. Boise State. This is their second timeout of the second half. 30 seconds. Timeout.
There, and they wanted to see what formation-wise what they were getting. So now you'll talk about it, and now the cat and mouse game between the OC and defensive coordinator kind of occurs. And we saw them bring pressure there on the previous play, and wouldn't be surprised to see it again. But I'm telling my guys, hey, look, we got to keep everything in front of us, and we've got to fight all the way through the end of the ball as far as the ball to the catch point. Fight all the way through and try to dig it out.
Andy Avalos, after a 7-win season in his inaugural campaign as the Bronco head coach, trying to pick up this one here, push this record to 10 wins on the year. They'll need a stop right here with a minute to go on fourth down and 9. Awney steps up, fires it, and it is almost intercepted, but it does not matter. The Broncos will get the football, and they will win the Frisco Bowl.
Taking another look at it, low snap. You see Awney buying some time, but I mean, that safety, he's robbing it all the way across the field. He's looking at it. Robinson almost comes up with the interception, and the receiver sees it, and he doesn't finish it. Macklin sees the safety coming across, and just tough play. Really nice job there by that Boise defense coming up on fourth down with the stop.
Awney will finish 17 of 32, 238, a touchdown, 2 picks. Taylon Green, 13 of 22, 137. He also had 119 yards rushing, the third 100-yard game this season. No other quarterback in Boise State history has had that many 100-yard rushing games in their career. But Ashton Jeanty was the story coming out of, I don't want to say nowhere. He had over 100 carries this year, but with George Helani as your running back, you lean on him. But tonight, Jeanty was the man. 178 yards on 28 carries and a touchdown. And that'll do it. Boise State will win the 2022 Frisco Bowl. Coming from behind, they trailed 10-6 at halftime, and they win it 35-32, the final score. Andy Avalos and company will pick up their 10th win of the year, go to 10-4. Phil Bennett will ride off into the sunset after this one. Fell just short by a field goal, as North Texas will finish up the year 7-7. So our final score, 35-32. Boise State wins it. For Deuce McAllister, Andrea Carter, and our entire crew, I'm Dave Neal. Thanks for watching the Frisco Bowl on ESPN. Head over to the app to watch the trophy ceremony. Time to catch up on the day in sports, and it was a busy one. Let's get you over to Sports Center. Stan, Neal, it is all yours, my friends. And welcome to the ESPN app post-game presented by Capital One. Well, the festivities are about to begin, but before that, time for this message.
The Venture X card from Capital One gives you premium travel benefits, like 2 times miles on every purchase.
The noise canceling. You're being too loud. Thank you. Good choice. Ooh, my lucky number.
Earn 5 times miles on flights.
Enjoy your stay.
Going up?
And 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel. Plus, get access to over 1,300 airport lounges.
White wine, please.
And maybe see the one and only Taylor Swift. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Time now for our Capital One rewarding performance. And boy, I tell you what, we had 2 players that easily could have gotten this one, but we're going to go with Ashton Jeanty, the true freshman, as opposed to the redshirt freshman quarterback, Taylor Green, because Ashton Jeanty went for 178 yards on the ground. And when they needed to run the football with an injured George Halani, their leading rusher, 1,000-yard rusher on the year, they leaned on the youngster who actually played high school football right here, but claims Jacksonville, Florida as his home, but played in this building and had a career night. Just a fantastic performance for Jeanty. All told, Boise State would rush for 318 yards, a season high for the Broncos, as they put up 455 yards. And listen, North Texas had 435 yards on the ground, and they put up 32 points against a team that allowed less than 19 a game and under 300 yards of offense to their opponents. Well, the team getting ready down there on the field for the trophy presentation. A happy bunch to get their 10th win of the season, and they had to come from behind to do it. And boy, what a difference in the first half to the second half for Boise State. Matter of fact, this is their first bowl win since 2017. They had some issues in 18. They had some weather that stopped a game with Boston College. Their bowl game got canceled after a quarter. Well, let's go down to the field. Broncos ready for some trophy presentation. Let's throw it down to the field, hosted by Gina Miller.
Hello, Toyota Stadium. Congratulations to both teams in the 2022 Frisco Bowl. Great performance by both the University of North Texas and Boise State, but it is the Boise State Broncos who come out on top to win the 2022 Frisco Bowl with the 35-32 victory. We are going to award our offensive and defensive MVPs and present the Frisco Bowl trophy. Here to help us do that is Frisco Bowl Executive Director Sean Johnson. Our first trophy goes to a hometown player, Louisville Fighting Farmer, Talon Green. 2 rushing touchdowns, pass for 137 yards, and a touchdown. Offensive MVP honors. How good does it feel to come home and have this performance here tonight?
It feels amazing. I mean, being in Dallas, you know, with my family and friends and old teammates, it means the world to me.
Congratulations. Enjoy this moment, Talon. And we also have to congratulate our defensive MVP, linebacker Ezekiel Noah. Ezekiel, 6-year senior. What does it mean to you to go out with a win, your 10th victory as a senior at Boise State?
Man, it's everything, man. All glory to God, man, all the time. And I love my brothers here, man. Let's get it.
Congratulations. Celebrate this important moment. Lift it up. And finally, to present our 2022 Frisco Bowl trophy, Executive Director Sean Johnson of the Frisco Bulls.
Congratulations, Coach. Great game.
Boise State head coach Andy Avalos, you wanted to come in, finish the season strong, get that 10th win. What a resilient second half for your team. How proud of you? How proud are you of your men tonight?
We said it the other night at the banquet that
when we were eating up top there. We admire this group. We love this group. You saw what they're made of tonight, how resilient they are, how coachable they are. They went in the locker room, the coaches got with them. We came out, we started fast, and we finished.
And you finished as the 2022 Frisco Bowl champion. Coach Avalo, celebrate with your team tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you. Go Broncos!
Congratulations again, Boise State Broncos. You are the 2022 Frisco Bowl champions.
Fans and our official championship merchandise available immediately at FriscoBowl.com.
Frisco Bowl champs, and we were talking about it. They didn't get to finish the game in 18. Lost in 19. In 20, they didn't play. That was the shortened season. They had a bunch of issues. And then, of course, last year in 2021, they weren't able to play their bowl game. So finally gets a win. And for more on that, let's go down to Andrea.
Coach, first of all, Coach, congratulations on the win and being the Frisco Bowl champions. You all had 6 points at halftime. What was your message to the team to have such an offensive explosion in the second half?
Well, it was really about handling our fundamentals and techniques and playing the game where we're capable of. Now, the coaches got us some different formations, too, on offense, got to some other things. And as we spoke about going in at halftime, we were able to get the guys on the page and come out quickly and execute those things, as we saw with a couple explosive drives there. And then defensively, you know, really proud of those guys staying in there. We played 47 plays in the first half, you know, and coming into the game with not as much depth as we had liked. But again, this team is so resilient. We played well together at the end. In all three phases, we executed some special team situations that were critical in terms of pinning them back there, you know, at the start of the 2-minute drills.
Coach, you talked about those fundamentals, and your quarterback, Taylon Green, wins Offensive Player of the Game. How would you describe his performance and the way he led the team?
Well, I think it exemplifies who he is from the standpoint, his willingness to learn and grow, not only over the course of the season, each game he got to play in, but in this game in itself. There were things we had to obviously adjust that we just spoke about at halftime. He did a great job coming out and executing those things and taking what the defense gave him.
Well, for him and for Ashton Genty, the future definitely looks bright, Coach, but celebrate this one. Congratulations again.
We love those guys. We love all our guys. Very proud of them. Go Broncos.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, a lot to be excited about. He used that word quite a bit with us this week, and a lot to build on. They win this one 35-32, win number 10 of the season. So for Deuce, Andrea, the rest of our crew, Dave, Neil, hope you enjoyed it. Boise State, your Frisco Bowl champs.